Hey guys, congratulations on ordering the new Viper hybrid set. So I got one here in the box. We're going to talk about how to put together the layout that you can see in the pictures. There's obviously endless layouts that you can do with the track pieces that come with the system, but we wanted to provide you with a simple video showing you kind of the way that I've made these tracks for decades. So since I was a little kid, I used to throw the instructions away. And I never followed the instructions. I just set up the track however I wanted to, and kind of that's how I learned how to build tracks. But we got a kit here. We've already kind of unwrapped stuff, but the first thing that we're going to do in building our setup is we're going to go ahead and we're going to make stacks combining all like items. So these are going to be your 6-inch straights. They're the tightest curves in the system. We also have, let's see, we'll put the cars over here out of the way. We have the 12-inch curves. These are 9-inch curves. And as you can see, these are all quarter curves, okay? So that means that, sorry, they're 1/8 curves. So that means that it would take 8 of them to make a full circle, okay? Your kits also come with quarter curves, which are these guys, which take 4 to make a complete circle. Now, we're not going to use every single piece that comes in the set right now. We are going to end up with a couple of leftover pieces, but those are just in there so that if you wanted to build some other systems or kits down the road, you definitely can. So we have basically all like items combined right here. And I have a drawing which, you know, we could provide this with the kits, but if you guys are watching this video, you're pretty much going to build them the way that we will here. So one thing that I like to do is I'll build all of my 180s, and with the AFX track system, so it does have kind of a complicated joining system. And this does 2 things. 1, it snaps together, and 2, it gives you connectivity for the rails. Some of the brand new pieces from the not brand new, this is all brand new, but some of the brand new molds from AFX, they can make these pieces kind of tricky to put together. So you just want to kind of work them together and make sure that they are together. You don't want them to be like that. You do want them to be nice and flat. If you do end up with uneven joints, when you set them down, you can go through, kind of push on the areas at the slot and in the center. You can see that they have kind of a double tab here. So if these are up, which these ones are locked in place, so they obviously aren't going to be up. But, you know, if you have a car deslotting in the corners, that's typically where I would start and look first. So I'm going to put this on that side of the table because I know that we got a 180 there. We're going to build another one here. This one's a good example. So you can see this tab is up. Okay, it's a pretty good ledge right there. If the car was driving this way, it would hit that. All you got to do, pinch them together. You can see that flattened out. So this is nothing new. Anybody that's ever had one of these, whether it was Christmas of 1965, 75, 85, 95, 2005, or right now, 2026, it's the same thing. So same deal. This one is going to end up somewhere in that vicinity of the track. So at this point now, we're going to go ahead and build another set of 180s, which this one is going to go on our right side. These are 9-inch curves. So 9-inch curves fit around the outside of a 6, which is how you end up with a 4-lane track system if you use the AFX stuff. So this is a base for that. I mean, you could absolutely expand. You'd need to buy additional components and more power terminals. But from this point, we are going to start hooking this stuff up here. So I grabbed a 15-inch straight. We're going to hook that into our 9. And you can already see that we got some stuff coming together here. I know that another 15-inch straight is going to connect on the inside here, like so. We're going to run parallel. This stuff too, I mean, if you needed to pull this out and, you know, work these off the table, you definitely can kind of drop back into place here. we're gonna jump to this side of the table and we're gonna build kind of the parabolic corner that fits in right here on this part of the track. So this is kind of a unique piece. It uses 2 of these guys, and I think, looks like it uses 4 of them. So we'll start out with our quarter or 1/8 circle 90s, and we're gonna set them like so. And then we run the other quarter curve or 1/8 curve. Sorry, I keep saying quarter. And then we're gonna put together 6-inch curves. We're just gonna make a 90-degree corner like that. We're gonna do 2 of those. Okay, and I'm kind of working these joints as I get these together. We're gonna take a 3-inch straight, okay? That's the smallest of your straights. And if I'm going too fast, just hit that pause button, okay? Rewind it back. Good thing about a video is you can pause it as many times as you want. So we have this little corner right here, okay? 3-inch straight, 6-inch curves, 2 of them, we made a 180, okay? We are going to hook that into these curves here to make a pretty cool little parabolic corner, okay? Set that off to the side. We're going to put in 2 more 3-inch straights, or sorry, 15-inch straights. You guys are probably all confused by now, but. So these are 15-inch straights. They will hook on to the ends of these guys. Make sure everything's joined up. If stuff does come unhooked, sometimes you do have to chase it around, but you can see there now all of that is hooked together. So next thing up that we need to do, we are going to throw a 15 in here. And this is where we use quite a bit of these straightaways along this backside here. I'm going to actually move them and build the S part that drops in here, and that way we can be strategic on where we place these shorter straights, because I personally don't like to use these close to curves if we don't have to. Over here, we didn't really have an option on that. But if you're putting them in a straightaway, you usually want to have them in the middle of a straightaway, and that's just my preference. So we're going to take our additional leftover 90s, sorry, 45s. We're going to put 1 here, okay? We're going to take a 3-inch straight. We're going to put that in here, okay? And then we are going to use 2 of these big radius. These are 12-inch radius, 1/8 circle. And as you can see, this wraps the 9. So if you wanted a 6-lane, you could do that. There is a 15 and an 18 available. So you've got quite a bit of options there. For this particular track, we are putting this in here. And we're going to use a 90-degree 9-inch radius. We're going to use another 3-inch straight. Another 6-inch radius. And we will take one of our 6-inch straights and drop that in here. And we're going to hook it up to our 180. As you can see, we are almost there, guys. These are going to be extra curves for this setup. We have an extra 12, 3 9s. I'm going to go ahead and throw those in the box so that nobody gets confused. Now we have all of this, which is going to drop in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 9 closest to the end, and we're going to hook these guys together off the table. Okay, drop this guy in here. And boom, we have a completed layout. So at this point, a lot of people are just itching to drive, okay? They really, really, really want to drive. But before we do that, guys, so that you don't end up throwing your expensive slot cars off the table, or if you're building this on the floor, you don't throw your expensive slot car, you know, into the hot water heater, into the refrigerator. We did include these Armco barriers, and you want to go ahead and get these guys set up on the track. So these things, they just kind of clip underneath the curve here, and these are made for a 9-inch radius curve like so. And as you're working these in there, if you do get stuff that's unhooking, don't worry about it. Let's just focus on getting them together and on for now. This part here, they do connect together, okay? So you can pinch these together, and then the top, you kind of just like wiggle it around. You could probably put a zip tie in there or tape. I'm sure there's all kinds of super cool ways and methods out there that guys have figured out to use. At Viper, we typically will put a full Lexan crash barrier, but that's on custom tracks, not necessarily on the AFX track system. So this little guy on this tight curve here, we're going to kind of put in the middle, but since the thing runs this direction, you could start over here like so. You're really just wanting to keep the car from coming off right here. More than likely, it's not going to come off in this area. It's coming off on entry because you're going to be carrying a lot of speed into this corner. And this actually will shoot it back toward you anyway, so you might be able to catch it. This one's a little bit different because we are starting, or we want to start in the middle of this 3-inch straight, and we're just kind of working it back around. But again, this is kind of the same deal as over there where the car's coming into this. You're just trying to keep them from crashing onto the floor. These guys will hook together. If you are going to hook them together, you want to do that kind of early on versus getting all of this stuff in there and then going back and trying to slide it. That doesn't usually work out very well. So, all right. So we'll make sure all of that stuff feels smooth. Now I'm just kind of quickly looking over the track to make sure from moving it around that I didn't pull anything apart anywhere. If there is small gaps in certain spots, I mean, there's not a ton that you can do about that. Sometimes these things don't fit together perfectly. I mean, it's all molded. As you get bigger and bigger and bigger, you do have more and more leeway on things. But at this point, we are going to get out our Viper controllers. That one's going to be for the outside lane. This one's going to be for our inside lane. We're going to grab our power adapter. So this Viper power adapter plugs in for power. It has a bullet terminal on it, which you must hook up when you hook your controller up. So that plugs straight into the top. If you don't hook that up, you can damage the controller and the track system. So you absolutely need to run that. It is required. So controllers are hooked up. We got our power supply here, super easy, plug it in. We are going to plug it into the wall, which I happen to have an outlet down here. All right, guys, so I got it all plugged in, got the power plugs set up in there, and we are off to the races. So just taking a cruiser lap on 15.6 volts, that's just what it ended up at. I want to make sure there's no super noticeable clicks or D-slots before you start ripping it. So it all feels pretty good. And obviously from here, you can kind of work, areas as you need to. And as you try different cars out, you might need to try different things. But these cars work great on, you could run it as low as it'll go, which is 10 volts. And it is pretty much full throttle. So if you had a little one that you wanted to, play around with, you could turn your sensitivity up and just let them kind of rip it around. I would say that, 5 minutes of continuous use, you might take a break and let the cars cool down. These things will get up to a hot operating temperature. This isn't a kid's toy necessarily. This is something that you can enjoy with your kids, but you do need to still treat it like a high performance racing system, which it is. If you wanted to up the voltage to kind of get a little more drive out of it, 12.5 volts is where we're at right now. And that is fast enough for the cars to come off. So there is a little bit of driving, but typically these cars, we like to recommend, 14.5 is kind of a sweet spot for this track size. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If for some reason you do plug everything in and it doesn't work, just make sure that this plug is engaged all the way so that the cars move, obviously, when you try to drive them. Perfectly on the line there. But that's pretty much it. So this is our signature layout. You can obviously make ovals. If you wanted to extend or expand any of this stuff with more AFX track pieces, something that I look for is where you have parallel joints. So let's say we have this joint and this joint. If you wanted to put straights in there, you could move this whole section that way. If you wanted to add straights, in this part and come off the track further, it's very, very unlimited options as to what you want to do, but that's usually how I look at it. Sometimes you do have to get creative when you start doing like S sections. Like this section here is composed of 6-inch radius, 12-inch radius, 9-inch radius, and 6-inch straights. So it is a little bit tricky, but we were able to get this much length out of that. And if you look at it with the 6-inch on there, it actually matches what all of these straights are. So we can do more videos on that if you guys want that, but this one is the instruction video for how to build the basic layout on the Viper hybrid system. So hopefully you guys enjoy it and you're having fun with the hobby, and look for more stuff like this coming down soon. See ya.